Today we are making dumplings from this book called Flavor by Darshanath Thakur. So the first step is going to be to make the flour. We are going to make a double batch which is going to be made of uh, three cups of flour and 2 cups of water with a pinch of salt. And the water we are going to also be using is hot water from the tap. The flour we are using here is a whole wheat flour. We got this bag of flour from the Indian grocery store, and we find that it just makes it a little softer. It gives a better consistency to the end product. So just mix them together into a ball of dough as you would with any other bread recipe. So once the dough is made into a ball like this, we would just cover it with our bowl and let it sit for about 10 to 20 minutes. And while this is sitting, we'll go over and make our filling for the dumplings. So here are all the vegetables we are going to use for our filling. You could use whatever you like or have around the house. We have here we have our cabbage. There are 2 kinds of cabbage, the purple and the green cabbage, and also the Brussels sprouts. And then we have a bunch of mushrooms and carrots. These are actually carrots that we harvested in maybe the last video. And then we have onions and also green onions. The green onions don't chop very well in the food processors, so we just chopped it beforehand. Then we have here ginger and garlic. And we have this tofu that we had from yesterday where we baked it with some soy sauce. So we're going to use that. We're going to chop it up separately by hand. And then for the spices, we're going to use the soy sauce. This is lemon juice. And then 5 spice. And in here I have turmeric and chili powder that we'll use. And then ginger and garlic. So we are going to make this. We're going to grate all of the vegetables up in this food processor. We just find that it makes it easier. So let's go and do that. So we'll just cover this thing up. Start to put stuff in. Chopped up or grated inside. So all of the vegetables have now been grated nicely into the bowl, and we are going to add the rest of the condiments in here now, which is So I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of this lemon juice. And 2 tablespoons of soy sauce. And all of our ginger and garlic. This is about, I think, 6 cloves of garlic and a large piece of ginger. And then the green onion. The tofu is right now chopped up into these pieces here. We're going to mix them up together. And then some turmeric, some red chili powder for kicks, for some heat. This is really spicy. And then some of this 5-spice probably about like 2 tablespoons or so. The 5 spices is one we're doing for the first time, so I don't know how it will turn out, but we'll find out. And then just mix them all by hand. Now remember, as I mentioned, we're making 2 batches, so this is double of the amount in the book. And I think it should make about 50 dumplings. So the vegetables are all nicely mixed now. I've transferred this to this mixing bowl, and I'm going to next cook this. So the purpose of cooking this in sort of a saute-like process is going to be to cook down the vegetables, but also to try to get some of the moisture, the water in the vegetables out, because that is difficult once you have the filling inside the dumpling. So we're going to do the saute process in the Instant Pot. I just started sauteing it. You could also do this on a stovetop, but we found that it works better, I think, in the Instant Pot saute mode. So I think we can just, I'm going to do this in batches, so just part of this mix, I'm going to add it to the Instant Pot. We're not using any oil in here, it's just the vegetables. And I think that is a good amount to start. So just use a spoon to mix it. So it's been about 6 minutes now, and the vegetables have even started sort of browning and sticking a little to the bottom. And so I think it's time to now take these out and work on the next batch in here. So I'm going to just transfer these into this bowl. Okay, so we're now going to open up the dough and start working on the dough and to make it into the dumplings. So we're just going to cut them, portion them out into what we need for the dumplings. So you have Each one of these will make one dumpling. So it's time to fill in the filling into the dumpling, and the dumplings can be made into different shapes, like round ones or long ones. So we'll show a couple of those here. It's a good portion of filling in there. Cool. So we are going to place the dumplings into this steaming basket that is lined with some parchment paper. We've also made some holes in the parchment paper to let the steam through. Okay, it's time to now steam the dumplings. The dumplings have all been placed in the steamer. We're going to stack these up, put them once again in the Instant Pot, and use the steam function. So, cover the lid and set this valve to steaming, to sealing, and then turn on the steam on low for 3 minutes. And once it's done steaming for 3 minutes, we'll let it stay in the Instant Pot without releasing the steam for another 5 minutes. So the dumplings have now been steamed for 3 minutes, and then they've been in the pot for another 6 minutes. So now at this point we'll just release the steam and get the dumplings out. There you have it. So once these have cooled, they should be ready to serve. So the dumplings are ready to eat, and we have served this with some of this mint chutney. You could also perhaps do some soy sauce. It's quite good. So we also have this other batch of dumplings over here that we have that we are about to freeze. So we haven't cooked these. We'll just pop them in the freezer, and then when we need them, we'll take them out and then steam them. So that's it.